This book terrified entire empires, confused generations of Christians, and claims to reveal how the world will end. The Book of Revelation is the final book of the Bible and the most misunderstood. Filled with beasts, dragons, plagues, seals, trumpets, and visions of the end of the world, Revelation has inspired fear, hope, obsession, and controversy for nearly 2,000 years. But what if Revelation was never meant to scare you? Because once you understand the symbols, the message becomes clear, and it's not what most people think. Revelation was written by a man named John, exiled on the remote island of Patmos for his unwavering Christian faith. Imagine being cut off from society, isolated, and alone. It's here that John receives a vision, not something from his own imagination, but a divine revelation, something unveiled for him to see. He is instructed to record everything, and what he sees next is unlike anything else in the Bible. John is commanded to write what he sees in a book and send it to 7 specific churches in Asia Minor, communities facing intense persecution under the powerful Roman Empire. These weren't just letters, they were messages of survival, endurance, and ultimate hope. If you want clear, cinematic explanations of biblical prophecy without the confusion or the fear-mongering, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It makes a huge difference. We're dedicated to breaking down these complex topics because Revelation only makes sense when you understand its symbols. Because Revelation isn't written in plain language, it's written in code. It uses a style known as apocalyptic literature, which was a common genre in ancient Jewish prophecy. Think of it like a form of political cartoon, using vivid, symbolic imagery to convey a powerful message under the noses of oppressive rulers. Using symbols was a way to protect the message from Roman censorship while speaking directly and powerfully to its intended audience of believers. In this symbolic language, terrifying beasts represent violent, godless empires. Numbers aren't literal counts, but carry deeper meaning. 7 might represent divine completeness, while other numbers represent rebellion or imperfection. Every image, from a 7-headed monster to a crowned woman, carries layers of meaning rooted in Old Testament prophecy, and one symbol above all others has terrified readers for centuries. The beast, a creature rises from the sea, a composite of terrifying animals possessing immense power, authority, and violence. It demands absolute worship from the inhabitants of the earth, persecuting anyone who refuses. To the early Christians reading this, the symbol was clear. This was the oppressive imperial power of Rome itself, an empire that declared its emperor a god and executed those who wouldn't comply. But the beast is only part of a much larger story. Because behind the earthly empire, Revelation introduces another figure, a great, fiery red dragon. The text explicitly identifies this dragon as the ancient serpent, called the devil and Satan. This isn't just a mythological monster. It's presented as a real, cosmic adversary, the ultimate source of evil, influencing the corrupt earthly systems that persecute God's people. What John is describing is a spiritual war, a cosmic conflict that plays out through the stage of human history. And the battlefield isn't just some distant future, it's the present. The story unfolds in dramatic, structured cycles of 7, the breaking of 7 seals, the blowing of 7 trumpets, and the pouring out of 7 bowls of judgment. These aren't just random acts of chaotic destruction. Each cycle reveals a deeper layer of judgment against evil, a warning to repent, and a display of God's enduring mercy, even in the midst of cosmic upheaval. It's a structured, rhythmic revelation of God's plan to deal with injustice and suffering. And at the center of it all, at the very heart of the throne room of heaven, stands a lamb, but this is no ordinary lamb. This is a lamb that looks as if it had been slain. This lamb represents Jesus Christ, but he's not depicted as a conqueror through military might or brute force like the empires of the world. He conquers through self-sacrificial love. While the beast and the dragon dominate through violence and intimidation, the Lamb achieves victory through faithfulness, even to the point of death on a cross. This single image completely flips our worldly idea of power upside down. True power isn't in dominating others, it's in laying down your life for them. Which leads to the most misunderstood part of Revelation. The end times. For centuries, people have treated Revelation like a secret timeline, a puzzle to be decoded to predict modern headlines, from political leaders to global crises. But for its original audience, this book wasn't a source of panic. It was a profound source of assurance and comfort. The message wasn't about trying to map out the future, but about trusting the one who holds the future. It promised them three things: evil does not get the final say, the oppression they were facing was temporary, and God's justice would ultimately prevail. And the ending is nothing like most people expect. Revelation doesn't end with the righteous being whisked away while the world burns. It ends with restoration. John sees a new heaven and a new earth. This isn't about escaping the physical world, but about God renewing and redeeming all of creation. The climax is the holy city, the New Jerusalem, descending from heaven to earth. God Himself comes to dwell with humanity. And a voice from the throne declares that there will be no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, no more pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Which means Revelation is not about escape, it's about renewal. Given its powerful imagery and challenging message, it's no surprise that Revelation was controversial from the very beginning. Some early church leaders were hesitant to include it in the Bible. They feared its bizarre visions would confuse believers or, worse, be misinterpreted by fanatics to justify all sorts of strange ideas, and they weren't wrong. People have been misusing it for centuries, but ultimately, the book was kept. It was included in the canon because its core message of hope and divine justice was considered too important, too vital for the church to lose. And that message still speaks today. So why does a 2,000-year-old book of vision still matter? Because Revelation issues a timeless challenge to every generation. It challenges our blind loyalty to earthly power and political systems. It confronts our tendency to worship the idols of wealth, security, and national pride, the modern-day empires. It stands against a faith based on fear and anxiety about the future. Instead, it calls believers to radical faithfulness, to patient endurance, and to an unshakable hope, especially when the world feels like it's falling apart. It's a reminder that no matter how dark things seem, God is still on the throne. And that's why this book refuses to be ignored. The book of Revelation isn't a secret code to crack. It's a veil lifted so we can see reality from heaven's perspective. It wasn't written to fill us with fear of the future, but with hope in the one who holds the future. It's a story of ultimate justice and the final victory of love over hate, of life over death. If this helped you understand Revelation in a new way, please subscribe and share this video with someone who might need to hear its message of hope. And be sure to watch our next episode, where we'll explore other misunderstood books of the Bible, because Revelation doesn't hide the future, it reveals who truly reigns.